MMA needs if you want to find predictions, news, and everything that deals with MMA. Shout outs to Kyrie, Abu El-Kheer MMA, Sacramento, California represent.
That's right, Kyrie. I appreciate you, my nigga. You came in here, you was talking that shit. That's right, bro. Much love, Flo. I appreciate you for always stepping in, bro. Be safe out there. Man, my nigga Kyrie, my man Kyrie came through. He started talking that shit. Hey, here's the thing. Here's the thing. That nigga will whoop your fucking ass. You would think that nigga's all squared up and all that type of shit. Nigga come through and beat your fucking ass. Like, man, fuck you up. You will never see it coming. So for those of y'all,
I gotta tell you, I know a lot of people don't like to talk about race, and I get it because sometimes it's unwarranted, and then sometimes there is. Now, with Jon Jones, I think there's a little bit of anger towards him because of the things that he's done in the past. But also, you got to understand the MMA culture right now is far more racist than any sporting organization there is. And there's several reasons for that. Obviously, because there is a white majority in the world of MMA. I mean, obviously, that's not really a problem or anything like that. But there is a certain culture within MMA, and specifically, let's say maybe MMA Guru's audience or things of that nature, right? There's a little bit of that going on. Now, I understand Jon has done a lot of horrible things in the past, but at the same time, you can't deny that there is a little bit of hatred towards him that sort of comes from a nefarious place. All right, well, here it is. Let's go on and get to the rest of the video. And why many people are upset with Jon Jones not fighting. Now, I get it. He is the undisputed champion of the world right now, and heavily disputed because of the fact that Tom Aspinall was the one putting in all this work. So as a hardcore fan, I could understand your concerns. I could understand your frustration. On top of that, you don't really know whether he's going to fight Tom Aspinall or not. There's just a lot of subliminal messages. There's a lot of just smoke and mirrors going on here, right? There's not a lot of clear signs whether this fight will happen or whether it won't. And if you really want a definitive answer, you want it right now. So again, that sort of gives Jon Jones a little bit of an understanding why people are mad at him, right? And then on top of that, he's a troll. Let's not even mention over and over again, we've mentioned plenty of times the crimes that Jon Jones has committed, which a lot of people may be disgusted from. But in all honesty, there is a racial element behind it, and I'm going to tell you why. Look, what is the overall demographics of mixed martial arts? Would you say that it's majority white? I would say that it is, primarily because boxing has taken a hold of the African-American community and also other Black communities in other Western countries, such as the UK, France, but mostly in the United States. When you think of Black American boxer, I mean, that is historically one of the most successful groups to come out of boxing is African Americans in general. But even in that sport, there is an element of racial tension and sometimes race baiting. Okay, you've seen it a lot. You've seen it with Boxing Ego. You've seen it with Blood Sport. I'm sorry, what was his name? Blue Blood Boxing, Boxing Ego. I mentioned even Nestor Gibbs from the Boxing Boys back in the days, right? It's standard. That's what they do in that sport. Now with MMA, even though it's a white majority in terms of fan base, in terms of participation of the athletes that are involved, I never took MMA as a real racial sport in any kind of way, because even if there is a white majority of an audience, and you could even argue maybe a white majority of its participants, I never really felt that or seen that in any kind of way. That was until the era of MMA Guru. And look, this is not in any way to pick on MMA Guru in any kind of way, although it is safe to say that he's one of the biggest antagonists towards Jon Jones. I mean, the guy made a video insinuating that Jon Jones was, you know what I mean? And insinuating that, those are fighting words. And not only that, those are ways of like trying to lower your manhood, trying to make you feel less of yourself as a man or this and that, right? Like it's just wild that MMA Guru would say something like that. But nonetheless, there are people that believe MMA Guru, because I'm going to tell you something right now. Why is MMA Guru one of the most popular streamers in MMA? I'm going to tell you right now, there's an element behind it that does have, how do I say this? Racial identity politics that plays into that. Look, he talks a lot about it in his stream. Maybe he's a little bit more careful now because he has, let's say, sponsors of a certain kind. Sponsors of a certain kind that would not dare sponsor Kanye West in a million years. Okay, let's put it like that. That's what MMA Guru has going on right now. So maybe he sort of backed off from it from a little bit. But there is a culture in internet MMA culture that really delves into racist stuff. And you know this. You look into any MMA chats, there's all these N-words with a hard ER. I mean, it literally reminds me of a Call of Duty lobby. You know what I'm talking about. You've been in Call of Duty lobbies, even in GTA lobbies, and any lobby and online where there are little kids around the world, particularly mostly white kids, okay, that are dropping the N-bombs. I'm sure there are other kids of different ethnicities too that do that. But again, for the sake of this video and for the race baiting element of it, just understand that the reason why most people are hating on Jon Jones is because there is a racial element to it. Look, I understand Jon Jones has done horrible things, horrible things in his history. But you know what? Within that history as well, Jon Jones is also part of a history that goes back dating to the days of Jack Johnson. Well, who is Jack Johnson? I want you to think of it like this, right? Let's forget about the fact that Jack Johnson was a fighter in the early 20th century. I'm just going to name you a couple of things and tell me if this sounds familiar. Black boxer, flaunts his wealth a lot, brags of being with white women, and then on top of that, brags of being in a high social status due to his accomplishments that he's made in the boxing ring. You're probably thinking, who does that sound like? That sounds like Muhammad Ali? No. Floyd Mayweather? No. Devin Haney? No. Tank Davis? No. Jack Johnson, 19th century. Okay, so back then, everybody wanted to see this guy fall. Everybody wanted to see this guy lose. What I'm trying to say is that fighting is a tribal sport, especially when it comes to the fans. It always has been, it always will be, and it will be no different in this year, next year, and the year after that, and the years after Jon Jones retires, and the years after Tom Aspinall falls into irrelevance, as he is relevant today. Tomorrow he might not be, but one thing is relevant that will always be for certain when it comes to the game of fighting, is that people will always love the people that look like them, because it's like Dana White says, right? Fighting is in our DNA. We all get it, and we all love badasses that look like us. Okay, so when you look at Tom Aspinall, does he look like the majority of the fan base that sort of encompasses MMA? I would say so. In fact, I'll tell you what, this is a reason why I wanted to add a different element into my MMA content. Obviously, I wanted to add a little bit of a urban hip hop flavor to it, a little bit different than that of MMA Guru, a little bit different than that of Lucas MMA Tracy, all these guys, right? That quite frankly have a white fan base. With that in mind, understand that Jon Jones deserves all the hate that comes to him, but at the same time, here's a complicated part about it. He also doesn't deserve the same amount of hate that comes to him. And I let you figure that one out. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next live stream, the next video, the next content, the next whatever it is that I do. Inshallah.
Starting off the list of good. Oh, this actually, he's gonna go into neutral too, because this guy's he's wild as shit sometimes. But he's I'm telling you, Khair El-Kheer, he's wild as shit. He's going into neutral for different reasons. He's fucking wild. But he's the type of guy that you would want on your side. I feel like this guy just has an immense fucking loyalty about him. He's a good fucking dude. He is loyalty over royalty, defined to the fucking max. Now we start off the good cat. Yeah, I like Kyrie below tier. Fucking so what?